Before we begin, take a deep breath and remember, nothing in this universe is random. If you're drawn to ancient knowledge and forgotten truths, subscribe now, because what you're about to discover is not myth, not metaphor, but the sacred encrypted language of light itself. This is the mysterious language of angels. What if I told you that long before the Tower of Babel fell, before Latin, Sanskrit, or Egyptian hieroglyphs, there was a language so pure, so resonant, so divine, that it could bend light, command matter, and echo across dimensions. A language not spoken, but intoned, not written, but vibrated. A frequency heard by the soul, not the ears. This was the language of angels, and it still exists in secret orders, hidden manuscripts, and deep within your DNA. Let's go back to the beginning. In the ancient texts of the Zohar and the mystical writings of the Essenes, it is said that angels communicate not in words, but in vibrational light codes, harmonics of intention, thought, and frequency. They do not speak. Like humans, they sing reality into being. This is not fantasy. It is echoed in Hermeticism, Kabbalah, Gnosticism, and even quantum linguistics. Because when you begin to study the essence of divine language, you realize it's not about grammar. It's about resonance. The Enochian language, for example, channeled by Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly in the 16th century, was not a language for communication, but invocation. Its words vibrated with power. They opened gates, shifted time, summoned intelligences not of this plane. And yet, there's something older, something deeper, something even the angels whisper about. The first tongue. Many call it the language of light, others the Akashic frequency. But whatever name we use, it's the same vibration, the same universal algorithm, the same divine code that shapes stars and souls alike. And here's the secret. You were born fluent in this language, not your conscious mind, but your soul, your dreams, your heartbeats between heartbeats. Every time you receive a sudden knowing, a wave of peace, a whisper that doesn't use words, you are remembering, because this language doesn't use nouns and verbs. It uses symbols, geometry, tone, and light. Look closely at sacred texts from all traditions. The Hebrew alphabet, each letter a living energy. Sanskrit mantras, sound forms that restructure the body's vibration. Egyptian glyphs, multi-dimensional blueprints. And runes, ancestral archetypes, encoded in shape. These were not alphabets. They were keys. Keys to a higher state of awareness. Now pause for a moment. Imagine the angels, not as winged beings in robes, but as pure intelligence. Fields of living light, carriers of divine will. And what do they use to express the will of the divine? The language of frequency. This is why music has always been sacred. Why Gregorian chants could lift a cathedral into another realm. Why shamans sing icaros to summon spirits. Why Tibetan monks use throat tones to enter trance. Sound is not entertainment. It is a vehicle, and in the highest dimensions, it is the medium through which entire realities are shaped. Now here's where it gets deeper. In certain Gnostic texts, angels are said to weave reality through song, that every star, every galaxy, is a note in the eternal chorus, and the human soul? A melody waiting to remember its place in the song. This is why so many near-death experiences describe hearing a music unlike anything on earth. Because as we leave the body, the soul begins to tune in again to the song of the source. The more spiritually aligned we are, the more we begin to hear it. Through intuition, synchronicity, sacred dreams, or visions of light and sound interwoven. In fact, there are people who've heard this language directly. The mystic Hildegard von Bingen, who described receiving celestial tones accompanied by glowing script, or prophets in altered states seeing scrolls of fire written in a language no man taught them. Even modern mystics speak of downloads, intuitive bursts of divine knowledge, appearing as geometric light or foreign syllables of power. And maybe you felt this too, a pull, a rhythm, a knowing you can't explain, because somewhere within you, you remember. Now consider this. The ancients built their temples aligned with star systems. They encoded language into architecture, math, and chant. Why? Because they weren't just praying. They were tuning in. They knew that words spoken in alignment with divine frequency create real shifts in consciousness and even in matter. This is why invocations matter, why affirmations work. Why? A single word, love, can change the structure of water crystals. The right sound, at the right time, opens gates. And this is the heart of angelic language. It doesn't just convey information. It carries energy. Now, let's go even further. In the secret teachings of the mystery schools, from Egypt to Atlantis, there was a teaching that only initiates could receive. There are syllables that cannot be spoken aloud, words that do not mean, but do. These are the words of power, encoded in tones, gestures, and intent. Say them incorrectly, and nothing happens. But vibrate them with purity, and entire realms respond. This is what the Magi of the ancient world guarded. This is what the angels still speak. Not English, not Latin, but the resonance of the divine blueprint. And here's the real mystery. Your body already knows how to speak this language. Your hands, when placed in mudras, form sacred syllables. Your voice, when chanting Om, harmonizes with the pulse of the universe. Your breath, when aligned with intention, becomes the trumpet of spirit. This is why spiritual practices across all cultures, breathing, chanting, silent prayer, sacred movement, are not about belief. They're about tuning your body to receive the transmission. So what does this mean for you? It means you are not separate from the angels. You are part of their choir. You are a syllable in the sentence of the divine. And the more you align with love, with light, with truth, the clearer your signal becomes. That strange dream had the symbol that kept appearing, the word that echoed in your mind for days. Those weren't accidents. They were transmissions, echoes of a forgotten fluency. So how do you begin to remember? Silence. In the stillness, the subtler languages arise. Meditation opens the inner ear. Sacred sound. Chant, tone, and listen. Let the vibrations shape you. Symbols. Study ancient glyphs, not to analyze, but to absorb. They are visual mantras. Light. Sit in the sun. Gaze at sacred geometry. Let light encode you again. Intuition. Follow your feeling, even when logic disagrees. The soul understands frequencies, the mind does not. And most importantly, speak with intention. Every word you say, every thought you whisper into the cosmos, is shaping the reality you live in. The angels aren't in the clouds. They are in every resonance of love, compassion, clarity, and truth. They speak to you through synchronicity, through signs, through sensation. And now you know how to listen. So the next time you feel that pulse, that tingle up your spine, that sudden insight that feels like it came from beyond, don't dismiss it. Lean in, because you are being spoken to, not in words, but in the eternal, mysterious, luminous language of angels. Subscribe if this awakening resonates with you, because we are just beginning to decode the divine.